Our next guest has traveled the country as a musician and songwriter after growing up in the northern Michigan community of Atlanta.
After living on the West Coast for many years, Bill Ellingboe is now living in beautiful Grand Haven and has a couple of upcoming performances along the lakeshore. Welcome, Bill. We have a kindred spirit because I spend a lot of time in Grand Haven as well.
It's a nice town.
It is a very nice town. And it's going to be even better in the next few days because you're doing some performances.
Oh, it'll be incredible.
That's right, exactly.
It's going to be rocking in Grand Haven. And one of them's tonight, actually, right?
Yes, I'm at the Theater Bar in Grand Haven tonight.
Okay, we were just talking about that and what a fun place it is, and Terry's like, I need to get to this spot.
I do.
It's an old movie theater.
Yep.
It's a ton of fun.
Yeah. It's cozy. You know, they've got a restaurant on one side, and then they have a little theater bar there too. It's a little rowdy in there.
It sure does. Yeah, you play behind the bar on a small platform.
Yeah, kind of above the bartenders.
Wow,
I saw you there last
night. Exactly. So describe your kind of music, your stylings for us.
Yeah, it's a little bit of rock, but there's some twang in it though too. A little bit of country stuff.
And that's the stuff that's really kind of cool to sit back and listen to when you're with friends and
at a bar where you're standing up with the musician behind the bar.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to be at Jelly's on Saturday too, right? Yep. And that's more restaurant.
Yeah, that's at Snug Harbor. It's upstairs at Snug Harbor. You know, a little bit more of a restaurant scene there, but you can still get rowdy there if you want to.
Yeah, it's so great. The live music, it just adds such a nice element. What are you noticing as a musician who's spent some time on the West Coast, moving back to West Michigan?
I'm really impressed by the amount of support there is here locally for music. Some of the places I lived, there's really not as much live music. Here in Grand Haven, it's incredible the amount of live music just in a small town like that.
And it's just something really nice extra too. You know, you might go out for dinner, you might go out for drinks with friends, and when you have live music there, it just seems to up the
whole experience of the evening. Yeah, fantastic. Really. So you write songs also, and today you're going to perform one that is original to you.
Yes.
Yeah, what's the name of it?
I think the original is called Think now. I changed it. I mixed these around a little. I'm okay. I can do it. I wrote it. I can call it around.
Yeah, you want the copyright.
Yeah, a great musician is always evolving, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Will you play for us?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. Take it away, Bill.
Right.
Walking home alone tonight, stopped in the middle of the road. My connection never showed up at the bar, and I can't believe it's getting so cold. With my untied shoes and these walking blues, I've done this so many times before. You'd have think by now that I'd have figured out how to keep from getting so angry and so. Well, I got a hard time believing you've been tossing and turning all night. Oh, well, I'm more inclined to think you're wrapped up in the arms of a man who's holding you so tight. And I'm feeling double-crossed as you cross my mind while the silence gets too loud to ignore. And I'm beginning to think you might not be thinking about me anymore. I woke up in a puddle of sweat, my mind racing out of control. Well, I'd forgotten the dream that woke me in the first place, but I remember I'd fallen in a hole. And I'll be lying here when the sun comes up and another long day begins. Well, I'll be thinking of you when the workday starts, and I'll be thinking of you when it ends. Well, I got a hard time believing you've been tossing and turning all night. Though I'm more inclined to think you're wrapped up in the arms of a man who's holding you so tight. And I'm feeling double-crossed as you cross my mind while the silence gets too loud to ignore. And I'm beginning to think you might not be thinking about me anymore. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Do you think you might have reconsidered me? Yeah. Well, every time they asked about you, I remind them why I had to leave. Well, it's becoming a chore to remind myself of these reasons I'm not so sure I believe. Well, it's a shame and a sin to put somebody through the tortured machinations of your own mind. I think I'm better served to get up the nerve to walk away and leave it all behind. Whoa, I got a hard time believing you've been tossing and turning all night. think you're wrapped up in the arms of a man who's holding you so, so, so tight. And I'm feeling double-crossed as you cross my mind, while the silence gets too loud to ignore. And I'm beginning to think you might not be thinking about me anymore. No, no. I'm beginning to think you might not be thinking about me anymore. Woo-hoo. Well, I'm beginning to think you might not be thinking about me anymore.
Nice. Great job. Woo! I like that song.
With my untied shoes and these walking blues, I've done this so, so many times before. You to think